choices.
Indecision, just got to make up my mind. Is the right solution anyway? I thought you were the only one who could take me there. Choices, choices, choices.
We didn't have a remote. You had to hate something bad enough to get up and walk that 5 feet to change the channel. Damn bonanza, those horses are so much louder when they run.
Did you catch the Ed Sullivan show last night?
Oh yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Elvis was great on it.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
Such a good guy. How about What's My Line?
Oh yeah, of course I watched that show. It was on right after.
Well, I'm gonna head home. My wife has meatloaf made, my favorite.
Oh yeah, what's on TV tonight?
What do you think? Same thing as every night.
Who needs a radio when you have a television? The television is a product which revolutionized the world. It changed the way in which we gather information as well as keep ourselves entertained. It even changed the way we interact with other people. As traditional broadcast television has very little variety as well as regularly scheduled programming, there is a high chance that everyone has watched the same thing. What messages can we gather from this revolutionary medium, the television? It's a step in a direction we've never been in before. This medium is home to many different programs and has the ability to broadcast them all at once. I can choose between sports, game shows, talk shows, comedy programs, westerns, advertisements, children's programs, the news, the list goes on. And all of this is right in my living room. The only downside to the television is that it has trouble broadcasting television programs without the picture getting fuzzy. This is why I have to constantly get up and fix antenna as well as change the channel. But this is only a small downside to such an amazing product. The television provides everyone with fast access to current issues in the world, and because it does this, it has the ability to make everyone feel more connected. It's interesting to think about how many people are watching the same television broadcast as me at the exact same time. The television is a product that makes me wonder what will come from this medium in the future. I don't think broadcasting my favorite programs could get any easier than this. I don't have time to think about that now, though. The Ed Sullivan Show is starting in a couple of minutes.
Every woman needs to be herself at times. Your answer? Baking. Baking good, baking often with gold medal flour.
Yo, Denisha, what's up?
Chilling in the water cooler.
Yeah, in the little water cooler? Not much. Did you catch Friends last night?
No, I was watching Seinfeld instead.
Oh, I hate how they're on at the same time.
I know, it sucks. I wish I could watch both.
I know, it's like All My Children. I love that show, but it's on right in the middle of the day. Who has time for that?
Yeah, like we're at school at that time.
Exactly. All availability.
We have 700 channels now. When did this happen? When I was a kid, we had 5 channels.
As we step out of the traditional broadcast era, we enter the age of digital and cable television. The ITU claims that as of the year 2000, there were about 1.4 billion television sets in the world, in comparison to fixed telephones, cell phones, and personal computers, which all numbered less than 1 billion. The shift to digital broadcasting limited interference and distortion while broadening the spectrum efficiency to allow more programs on a given channel bandwidth. Cable television introduced a significantly higher number of networks that could be purchased in bundles or as part of the basic television package. Premium channels like HBO were attained through an additional cost to the subscriber, while superstations like Nickelodeon were paid for through advertising within the basic packages. By the mid-70s, more than 15 million American homes subscribed to one of the more than 4,000 existing cable systems. Although the new broadcasting format allowed for a wider range of content to become available, content choice was still constrained by a number of factors. Traditionally, it was assumed that viewers chose which programs to watch by the content of each program, but it was later found that choices were made on a seemingly random basis. This led theorists to see program choice in cable television as a more nuanced concept, influenced by such factors as viewer availability, channel loyalty, group viewing, and by the cable package to which they subscribed. Although this era introduced a much broader range of content, most viewers were highly restricted by work and home life schedules, leaving small windows within which they could choose which types of programs to watch. Therefore, although the cable television era brought an increase in selectivity possibilities, the audience was still largely passive. At the closing of their study, Webster and Wachsleig noted that upcoming technologies and alterations in cable television frameworks would most likely revise this structure, and oh were they right. The proliferation of the internet and specifically YouTube changed the entire game, creating a push for consumer-driven content choice that would ultimately spread to every media platform. Over the following decade, niche markets would explode through YouTube, allowing for groups to seek out and consume content that tended to their individual preferences. The new platform gave way to communities and large followings for previously fragmented groups, as exemplified by the many makeup tutorials, video game enthusiasts, and even drag queens. Not only has social media and YouTube contributed to the continuously increasing popularity of RuPaul's Drag Race television show, many of the contestants on the show have amassed major followings through their own personal YouTube accounts. This new video platform saw the beginning of a major transition in program choice, allowing for audiences that were far more active than previous theorists could have imagined.
Hey, did you watch The Good Wife last night?
No, who has a TV?
Oh, well, I do, but so you didn't watch it last night?
No, I'm just waiting until it's on Netflix.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about The Walking Dead? Did you see it?
Oh, no, tell me about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm just going to torrent it illegally tonight.
Illegally,
so,
of
yeah,
course,
so we can talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Now we live in an era of unprecedented choice. Internet broadcasting has developed in many different platforms since the 1990s, becoming more accessible and popular amongst Canadians throughout the 2000s with websites like YouTube. And in 2010, the online streaming service Netflix launched in Canada, giving Canadians easy access to a vast library of television and film content for a monthly subscription. In a 2014 report, it was estimated that almost 1/3 of Canadians subscribe to Netflix. Not only is there more choice in what you can watch through online platforms, but there is also now choice in where and when you can watch your content. Through devices like tablets, smartphones, and laptops, and through applications like Netflix, YouTube, iTunes, and other on-demand services, you can watch your content anywhere, whether it be on your commute to work, in the park, or on a walk. Or maybe not on a walk. Unlike early television, you are not limited to a predetermined schedule or a fixed location in order to consume television content. Many people still have cable television, but are not constricted to cable schedules. If you're busy the night of the show, there are many means to catch up on your favorite shows. For example, many broadcasters put new episodes on their website for a limited period of time. You could also potentially purchase the episode through iTunes or a similar store. Yet there are also lots of websites where you can illegally download and pirate broadcast content, which is a very popular way to consume content without having to pay for it. With so much content to choose from online through Netflix, on-demand services, and online piracy, there is a fear that people are cutting the cord from cable services altogether for cheaper or free alternatives, especially when even the most basic of cable packages are fairly expensive. In March, the CRTC, Canada's broadcasting and telecommunications regulator, implemented new measures in order to increase consumer choice in broadcasting, making it potentially more viable for consumers to keep their cable services. One of these measures is mandating pick and pay, allowing the consumer to pick exactly what channels they want and only pay for those channels. The other measure is the Skinny Basic package, creating a smaller package of more essential channels and capping the price at $25 per month, making it more affordable for the average Canadian.
The CRTC is not making choices for Canadians. It is setting out a roadmap to give all Canadians the freedom to choose the television content that meets their unique needs, budgets, and realities.
The CRTC is hoping that in a sea of choice increasingly impossible to control, less Canada will be more.
This video has shown you how visual broadcasting has gone from this
To this.
To this! Only time will tell where choice will go next.
Man came by to hook up my
Cable TV, we settled in for the night, my baby and me. We switched round and round till dawn. There was 57 channels and nothing on. 57